Let's explore Git configuration levels. In this video, we will cover the understanding of system, global, and local configurations in Git. Each level plays a crucial role in how Git operates in different environments. Git uses a hierarchy of configuration files to determine settings. More specific configurations override general ones. It follows this order: local overrides global, which in turn overrides system. Each level serves different purposes, and values cascade down unless overridden. Here are some useful commands. To view all configurations and their source, use the command git config list show origin. To view the merged configuration, use the command git config list. To check a specific settings value, use the command git config user.name. Now let us discuss system-level configuration. System configuration is system-wide and applies to all users and all repositories on the computer. On a Linux or Mac OS system, it is typically found at /etc/gitconfig. On Windows, it is located at /program files /git /etc/gitconfig. It is used for organization-wide or machine-wide settings. Keep in mind that it requires administrative privileges to modify. To set a system-level configuration, use the command git config system, followed by the configuration key and value. For example, to set the username, you would use the command git config system user.name default user. To configure automatic carriage return and line feed conversion, use the command git config system core.autocrf true. Next, we will learn about global level configuration. Global configuration is user-specific and applies to all repositories for the current user. It is stored in the user's home directory. On Linux or Mac OS, it is located at /gitconfig. On Windows, it is located at c/users/username/.gitconfig. Common uses include personal identity settings, editor preferences, authentication credentials, and personal aliases. To set a global configuration, use the command git config global followed by the configuration key and value. For example, to set the username, you would use the command git config global user.name your name. Similarly, to set the user email, you would use the command git config global user.email@example.com. Now let's see local level configuration. Local configuration is repository-specific and applies only to the current repository. It is stored in the repositories.git directory, specifically in the config file. Common uses include project-specific email addresses, repository-specific remotes, project-specific merge strategies, and overriding global settings for a project. To set a local configuration, navigate to your Git repository in the command line, and use the command git config, followed by the configuration key and value. For example, to set the project email, you would use the command git config user.emailproject@example.com. Similarly, to ignore case, you would use the command git config cord@ignore case false. Here are some common configuration commands. To view all configurations with their sources, use the command git config list show origin. To edit a specific configuration file, use the command git config global edit. To remove a configuration, use the command git config global unset user.email. To add a configuration, for example setting the core editor to Visual Studio Code, use the command git config local core.editor code wait. In summary, system configuration is for machine-wide settings for all users and repositories, and its path is /etc/gitconfig. Global configuration is for user-specific settings for all repositories, and its path is /.gitconfig. Local configuration is repository-specific settings that override others, and its path is .git/config. Here are some best practices. Use global configuration for personal identity and preferences. Use local configuration for project-specific settings. Check configuration sources when troubleshooting. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.